Hello and welcome all of you. And in this lecture, we are going to discuss about one of the most important topics of class 10, that is first chapter of class 10. So that is force. So what is force? Force is an external agency which changes or tends to change the state of a body. So what is force? Force is an external agency which changes or tends to change the state of a body. So in your class 10 pattern, so there are many force exist in nature. So that is, for example, electrostatics force, nuclear force, frictional force, mechanical force. So among them, so gravitational force is one of the weakest force exist in nature. And in your syllabus, according to syllabus in class 10, the main chapter is your gravitational force. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss deep study about gravitational according to class 10 syllabus, that is first chapter. So force. So gravitational force. So what is gravitational force? So what is gravitational force? So first write here gravitational force. So gravitational force. What is gravitational force? The force of attraction which is exist between two heavenly body in the universe is called gravitational force. The force of attraction between two heavenly body. So the force of attraction between two heavenly bodies in the universe is called. So what is gravitational force? So gravitational force is the force of attraction between two bodies, heavenly bodies in the universe is called gravitational force. And this force is very weak force. Among all the force, gravitational force is very weak force, and it exists between two heavenly bodies in the universe. And the measurement of gravitational force, the concept of gravitational force was given by a great scientist, that is Newton, Sir Isaac Newton. So this law, Sir Isaac Newton gave a law that is called Newton's law of gravitation. So in your syllabus, there is a topic that is Newton's law of gravitation. And generally, question comes in 3 marks, that is drive Newton's law of gravitation. So let's see about Newton's law of gravitation. So what is Newton's law of gravitation? So Newton's law of gravitation. So listen here. So gravitational force is a type of force that exists between two heavenly bodies in the universe, and the measurement of this force is given by a scientist, that is Newton's, and this law is called Newton's law of gravitation. So this law states that what? It states that the force of attraction between two bodies in the universe is directly proportional to product of dire mass and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So this is the statement of Newton's law of gravitation. So Newton's law of gravitation states that the force of attraction between two bodies in the universe is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. So how can we derive the Newton's law of gravitation? There is a derivation of this law. So let's see about this derivation. So listen here. So what is the statement? It is said that the force of attraction between two bodies. So we read him. So first body A and this is second body B. So this is A and this is B. So if the mass of A is, let us consider, m1 and B is m2, if these bodies A and B are separated by distance D, okay. So sir, what can you write here in derivation here? So always remember in physics, if you want to study physics more time, long time vision, then let us consider, always write, let us consider before starting derivation, because physics are held only one things, only one words, that is let us consider. So before you starting any derivation, you have to write first point, first line, let us consider. So let us consider how many bodies? Two bodies. So two bodies with A and B. A and B. So what is the mass of A? Having mass and having mass. What is the mass of A? M1. And what is the mass of B? M2. And they are separated by distance. What? D, as shown in figure. So what can you write from Newton's law of gravitation? So Newton's law of gravitation, from Newton's law of gravitation, what can you write? So first point is the gravitational force between two bodies is directly proportional to their product of mass. If F be the gravitational force, then what can you write? F is directly proportional to m1 and m2. Clear? So this is the first. And the gravitational force or force of attraction between two bodies is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So this is 1 by d square, and this is final equation 1, and this is final equation 2. So now combining equation 1 and 2, combining equation 1 and 2. So what we get? F is proportional to m1 m2 by d square. So this is the proportional sign. When we remove this proportional sign, so always remember, when we remove this proportional sign, we have to put one constant. What? We have to put one constant when we remove this proportional sign. So this constant may be your choice, otherwise they are already derived. What? This constant may be your choice, or they are already derived by scientist, physician, chemist. So always remember, when we remove this proportional sign, we have to put one constant. So removing this proportional sign, what we put here? So this equation, so F equals to capital Z m1 m2 by d square. So what is this Z? We have to write something about this capital Z. So capital Z is called gravitational constant, and its value 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. And this value of G was derived by a scientist that is called Henry Cavendish, because this is a very good objective question for your examination when you preparing entrance or entrance. So the value of capital G, that is gravitational constant, was proposed or derived by Henry Campbell's sign, which is found to be 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So this is the all about gravitation, Newton's law of gravitation. So sir, in what type question will be come in exam? So in your exam, state Newton's law of gravitation, that is 3 marks. States Newton's law of gravitation. So you have to write first statement, it states that, then after drawing these two figure like A and B, then after consideration, then after this part, equation 1, equation 2, and combining equation 1 and 2. So this is the Newton's law of gravitation. So now what is, let's talk about this gravitational constant, about the gravitational constant, that is capital G. So what is the unit of capital G? How can you derive the unit of capital G, and how can we find the, what is the definition of capital G? So first one is definition of capital G, that is gravitational constant. So tell me the relation formula of capital G. So we know F equals to G m1 m2 by d square. So listen very carefully. So definition of G, 1 marks. Define gravitational constant. What is the definition of G? So what is the formula? F equals to G m1 m2 by d square. So when we put m1 equals to 1 here and m2 equals to 1 and d equals to 1, so when, so m1 equals to how much kg? 1 kg. m2 is also 1 kg and d equals to what? 1 meter. So then what we get? F equals to G, and this is the numerically equal. So what is the definition of G? So gravitational constant is defined as the force produced between two bodies having mass 1 kg and 1 kg and separated by a distance 1 meter. So what is the definition? So it is defined as amount of force produced when two bodies having mass 1 kg masses are separated by distance how much? 1 meter. 1 meter. So this is the definition of capital G. So clear? So first you write formula, then m equals to 1 kg, m2 equals to 1, d equals to 1, then after what we get? F equals to G. So what is the F? F is gravitational force. So the definition is defined as the amount of force, or you can also write gravitational force produced when two bodies having mass 1 kg and 1 kg are separated by distance 1 meter. So this is the definition of G. So and last one is our, what is the unit of gravitational constant? So unit of capital G. What is the unit of capital G? Unit of capital G. So what is the formula of G? So what can you derive this formula? F equals to G m1 m2 by d square. So what is the unit of G? So we have to find unit of this. So what? This is force. So force into d square cross multiply. Then after m1 by m2 equals to what? G. So what is the unit of force? The unit of force is Newton. And what is the unit of distance? D square, it means meter square. And what is the unit of mass? Kg into kg. So what we get? Newton meter square per kg square. So this is the all about gravitation, Newton's law of gravitation, as well as capital G, all about the capital G. In your exam, write the state Newton's law of gravitation and find the value of unit of G, and this is all etc question. So this is the first lecture of force, and in second lecture we are going to discuss more about other topics of force. And thank you, take care, bye bye.